Welcome to the mountains.
4Fs. Food, friends, big fire.
Thank you, guys. I'd never have come out here without my girls.
We all smell like a potpourri of floral farts at a farmer's market.
Okay, Grandpa.
So amazing you've always been able to see past his history.
He's always been honest about it.
I want you to make sure you know what you're getting into before saying I do.
I heard a gunshot. Are you okay? Where are Jess and Ray?
Would it really be that hard for a homicidal maniac to just kill them?
If this is one of your stupid jokes, you think I'm lying?
We have to stick together.
There was an incident up here yesterday involving Ed Rogers. They said somebody shot him in the back.
Sometimes I get better at singing. Sometimes it feels a lot like the weekend. I do my best thinking when I'm drinking.
Welcome to the mountains.
4Fs. Food, friends, big fire.
Thank you, guys. I'd never have come out here without my girls.
We all smell like a potpourri of floral farts at a farmer's market.
Okay, Grandpa.
So amazing you've always been able to see past his history.
He's always been honest about it.
I want you to make sure you know what you're getting into before saying I do.
I heard a gunshot. Are you okay? Where are Jess and Ray?
Would it really be that hard for a homicidal maniac to just kill them?
If this is one of your stupid jokes, you think I'm lying?
We have to stick together.
There was an incident up here yesterday involving Ed Rogers. They said somebody shot him in the back.
So whenever you're ready, Lee.
Sometimes I get better at singing. Sometimes it feels a lot like the weekend. I do my best thinking when I'm drinking.
And welcome to Line Drunk. I am joined, I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. One, so I don't incorrectly say your name. And two, so you can say what you did in the movie of KillHer.
So start with me? Or
Sure.
You're talking.
Okay. Hi, my name's Robyn August. I am the director of KillHer. And I like to drink and I'm drinking it truly right now. But I like cocktails, and I like to get line drunk.
Rick?
I'll go next. I am Rick Rifle. I am the production designer of KillHer, and I am drinking a Blood and Sand, a 1920s era cocktail named after the Valentino film Blood and Sand.
My name is Tom Kiesche. I wrote the film. I produced it in part with other people, and I was Mr. Rogers in it, as well as doing a lot of other things in a lot of other departments unofficially. And I'm drinking after this interview.
Okay, first of all, I really love this movie. It was a great.
Awesome.
It was in my top 2 last year at Screamfest.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's great to hear.
So to start the interview, because I gave you 2 homework anyway. Rick, I guess you probably didn't get this homework, but what would be the theme cocktail for the movie, and what would some drinking rules be for the movie?
It would be a flaming Girl Scout, which if your viewers could see the look on Tom's face, that is a cocktail. It's like creme de menthe and good God, what did they put in that thing? The famous Bigfoot Lodge, a bar in Los Angeles.
Atwater.
It's in Atwater. Thank you. It was like creme de menthe and something chocolate, and I think there was vodka, and then they floated some grain alcohol on the top and set that thing on fire, and then stuck a marshmallow in it. And I remember getting like tanked on those for like my 35th birthday.
Did it taste like a Girl Scout cookie? Like
yeah, like those
The
chocolatey
Thin Mint?
The Thin Mints, yes.
Interesting.
It's only my first cocktail. I can't remember what the hell I'm saying. Yeah, it tasted like a Thin Mints. I think it would be a flaming Girl Scout.
I would have said something like a Bloody Mary, but a pickle inside of it, like something that you don't expect to be inside of a Bloody Mary.
That's so funny because because I thought about this because I've listened to other episodes, and at first I was thinking a snake bite, but that's not a cocktail. But I just because the movie has so much venom, right? Like a snake bite, which is like Guinness and cider. But then I was thinking exactly what you said, Tom. I was like, it's a Bloody Mary, and here's the reasons. It's bloody.
Yeah.
Mary, it's feminine. There's some feminine energy here. And you go to certain places and you order a Bloody Mary, and some people give you the standard, celery stick and an olive. But sometimes they throw in a piece of bacon. Sometimes they throw in, you go to New Orleans, they have a burger. You never know what you're going to get when you go to certain places. I feel like that's our movie. You think you're getting a Bloody Mary, but there's some garnishes on this sucker.
There's a lot of chunk in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a whole meal in a glass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some pico de gallo in there.
Okay, Tom, since you wrote the movie, would you like to give a brief synopsis of the film for the listeners?
Oh boy. Well, the storyline is 4 bachelorettes or 4 women go on a pre-bachelorette party to celebrate one of them getting married. And they come across a despot in the woods who's sort of over living in modern world, sort of a dinosaur of types. And let's just say stuff goes wrong, goes sideways. Things happen and people get hurt. And it's
secrets are revealed.
It's a slasher movie, but not a slasher movie. It's a horror movie, but not a horror movie. It's a suspense thriller. It's got comedy in it, but it's not a horror comedy. It's smarter than that. It's a mash genre piece that keeps, I think, people guessing throughout the movie. It's a lot like a roller coaster, and it kind of builds and builds and builds, and there's subtlety underneath. But then when you hit that hill, it's all downhill in the most fun way that you can imagine. And I don't know if that's a good summary or not, but I'm not drinking, so I don't make any sense anymore.
Yeah, there you go. And there's loops.
Yes.
And there's loops.
Also, right.
Yeah.
Where was this filmed?
It was filmed in the Big Bear area.
Okay.
Up in the woods in October of 2021.
Over 7,000 feet. So we had all sorts of weather from 70 degrees and sunny to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, snow, sleet, hail, fog, rain, everything. It was, and we were only up there for 10 days or shot.
And it was haunted. So that was another element.
Haunted.
It was haunted?
Yeah. Ghost children.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've only been there one time, and it's for church camp a long time ago, and it was in like December.
Those
I think,
were
or January.
probably the ghost children that did get all the camper. 21 campers went out, 15 came back.
I mean, it's the real woods. I mean, there's a shot of a deer in the movie at the very beginning that was really there. We shot like Isaac, and someone pointed out, and he grabbed the camera and, took video of the deer. Same thing happened with a helicopter at one point while we were doing a scene. Helicopters flying by, and we snagged that footage. I don't know if we used that footage.
We couldn't use it. Yeah.
Oh, there was a helicopter.
Chris, which I haven't been able to shout out yet. Chris Gural is our editor on our movie. He's he's an old friend of mine. He did an amazing job. But that was one of those shots. It was just a little too shaky because we had to try to grab it so fast. So then we had to kind of make up for it. But yeah, there were certain shots we couldn't get with the time constraint, but then other things would present themselves that made it all worth it, like the deer shot. I mean, most people would just get a stock footage shot of that. And we caught it because Isaac, he was on it, You give that guy a couple of cocktails and while he's holding a Steadicam and this guy.
Okay, so Rick and Robyn, how did you get involved in the film?
I've known Tom for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend who's a professor at, I think Carrie's at Riverside now. She's an associate film professor. And she was producing this odd little comedy that Tom had conceived that was all going to be shot in black and white. And it was a very interesting premise. We just sort of became pals. Tom had like a lot of really strange ideas. My most vivid memory of it is the murder scenes and me with bottles of Hershey syrup, because that was how you made blood in black and white films. They used chocolate syrup. It had nice viscosity. It was sticky. It would like spurt appropriately. And I just remember me laying on the ground with this bottle and like squeezing it, pulsing it like a heart at Tom's face until Tom finally just said, "Okay, Rick, we're good." We're good, because I was hitting him in the nose and his mouth. I just really had a great time with that. I think I went through like 5 bottles in one take.
So when I was putting this together, I gave people who were part of that movie who were fun to work with. I gave them a call, and Rick was actually just wrapping up with reality TV or something. Yeah, and you get back into narrative.
Yeah, I had just finished a big show for Amazon, fun show, but me and reality are not a good combination. And I said, "What do you do?"
Me neither.
Yeah,
I hate reality.
It's a career thing in Hollywood. Like sometimes you have to keep the lights on, and so the phone keeps ringing and you say yes, and then one day you wake up and you go, "What am I doing? I really don't like this genre. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like the topics." And it was right at the moment COVID was coming in, so I said, "Okay, well, that old notion of stop the world, I want to get off. The world stopped." And I said, "So what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, okay." This is a conversation with myself. Like, what are you going to do? I talked to myself. And I said, "You're going to go back to scripted. And that's going to be hard as shit to do right now. But you've got to find a way to do it, because otherwise just go get a job at a grocery store. What's the point? You're just paying bills." And ta-da, Tom Kiesche called me. He's like, I got a project, and I was thinking of you. And I'm like, "Yes. Well, don't you want to hear it?" "No, I don't need to hear it." "Yes." "Is that a script?" "Yes." "It has." "Oh, great, I'm in." It was
that's a great Tom impression.
Yeah. There's no money. I'll do it.
"I don't care. I'm in." Let's do it. It's going to be in the woods. We're okay. It's fine, Tom. You got camping gear? "Yeah, I have." "All right, great. I'm there." It's fantastic. So yeah, that was how the origins of this happened. Because I know Tom does fun, weird, strange stuff. He's not afraid to try things, and that's what makes it interesting working on a Tom project. So
they're fun. I think they're fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's always an element of fun that and then there's the element of fun you haven't discovered yet.
That's fun.
You're up, Robyn. That's your cue.
Is it me?
I stopped talking. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry, we were saying this story so many times that
I know
it took me a second. No, I met Ron Roget, who was supposed to be on tonight. We see you, Ron. If you're watching this, we miss you. We miss you, man. He was supposed to be on tonight, but Ron Roget, I met him randomly in Mexico on a trip, and we became friends. And he's been an actor for a long time, a lot of stuff, and I've been do a lot of music videos, a lot of short films, and I had just shot my first feature film. And I had this other short film that I was ready to make that he was kind of a perfect role for. So he ended up helping me out with that. And then through that, I guess he enjoyed working with me so much that he recommended me to the executive producers that he met. And that's how I met Tom and Rick and a lot of other people. And and it first started off as just, table reads of just, throwing around an idea of maybe seeing if they would want to finance it, and to like, let's do it. It was that fast. And it was, whoa, they're letting us do this. It was really cool. So we kind of just hit the races. I feel like we didn't have that much time to do it, but once we did it, I think we all left going, I think I have a new family now. Which is what it's kind of like when you're working on movies, especially a low budget and in such a secluded area too. You just kind of become a family. So a lot of lifetime friendships, I think, came out of this for a lot of people. So really cool.
Well, good. I will say that first scream really wakes you up.
I could see
that. She lost her voice, by the way, too. I think we tried. I don't know if that was the scream where we tried to have her re-recorded again but it was not when we did any pickups or anything. And I was trying to, because I'm a singer in a band, and I was trying to get her to kind of use her diaphragm more, and I think I made it worse. So she was like really losing her voice. We're like, she has to rest. So I think she actually did come back later and do the screams, right? I think she did do a scream on the sessions.
At this point, I don't remember.
Yeah, because that was like day 6 or 7, and she's been running in the woods and yelling and all stuff, and then we have to do these big screams, and her voice was gone, and it's cold, and so
it's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah,
I will say I think there needs to be a drunk commentary when this comes out on DVD.
Oh yeah,
that would be amazing.
Okay, where did the mask come from? Like, whose idea was the mask?
Well, the mask was in the script, and the idea of the mask was I don't know if it's not a bought mask. It's one of the characters makes the mask.
Right.
So there's a whole psychological discussions that we had about the mask that came up after it was already in the script, and the actor and the director had those conversations as well. But the mask physically was built by a gentleman by the name of Mark, who worked with Ron in the past, and he cut us a deal, which was very generous of him, and made us 2 masks because you need a double always in case something goes wrong. But the mask sort of was a character in the movie to an extent, as well as the whole movie plays with the conventions of what people are used to. And I wanted that when I wrote the script, that it's, that, again, I don't want to give away too much, but there's like little lines about the mask and calling attention to it and what it represents in horror. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm giving you what you want, but the mask is sort of a complicated thing without giving away any spoilers.
Right. It's just a very unique mask. That's why I was curious.
Oh yeah, the build. Yeah, that was Mark, Robyn. If you switched it, Robyn, say something so it switches to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, here's the mask. Here's one of the masks. The crew was awesome to sign it. That's pretty cool. It's hanging in my office. It's one of my prized possessions. No, I talked to Mark about just ideas, and I wanted to do something a little different. I definitely wanted to stick to her character and what Tom wrote, a feeling of like what it would be. And so we did a lot of kind of like backstory stuff with Mark. And one of the elements that I thought was really cool, besides it, obviously looking like something that someone made, because I would talk to him about, like, I grew up kind of in a town that wasn't well off, and I had a lot of friends that were a little, less privileged than me that could not buy masks, and so they'd make their own. And I think even a couple of years I had to too. We weren't doing so well, and so you make like paper masks. And so I just thought of like that idea as like, it's not this fancy mask you see in these movies where they're going to like, or Hollywood town, or maybe they don't have that in their town. She made it herself, and then basically the yarn was just something we kind of thought about. I was like, I haven't seen a slasher movie where they had fake hair on the mask. You'd see like masked characters that had long hair, like Hatchet and some of those other films that a lot of ex WWE wrestlers, but I never seen somebody like put the fake yarn on, and I thought that was kind of a cool new thing. So yeah, and there's a whole backstory behind why it looks like that I was talking to MC, one of the characters, about. So, but we'll save that. We'll save that for another day.
I remember walking onto one of the first shots that we did was of that thing on a pole, bloody. And I remember I hadn't seen it yet. And it was in script because, she wears this mask and blah, blah, blah. And so, my head's not really, my mind isn't like really going like what this thing looks like. Cause again, I think I've just been too conditioned to too many Friday the 13th and it's the Captain Kirk mask and like whatever, something like that. And then I saw this thing hanging on a pole and I was like, what the shit is going? Oh, that is really horrifying. What the hell, Tom? It's like, okay, now, yeah, you captured my attention with this thing. This is a freaky damn mask.
Nobody wanted to. There was a day where after we got the mask delivered, everybody was given the opportunity to store it at their house, and nobody wanted to store it at their house. It was kind of a funny moment where we left it at the execs in there where all the product placement stuff was that we got because nobody wanted it in their house at that point.
And I'm a masochist. I have it literally just sitting right there staring at me while I'm working every day. What's wrong with me? I need therapy.
Yeah, I didn't want it. Even after when we had the two masks, Robyn wanted one and the actress got it, but someone asked me if I wanted it. I was like, no.
Yeah, most people didn't want it.
I don't want it.
I will say one of the funniest things that we did and when we got the mask before we shot was Ned Kisner, one of the executive producer who just recently passed, great guy. He put it on, and I think we got a photo with him wearing it. It's pretty awesome because
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because Ned was in his 90s and stuff, and he's wearing this mask, and it just looked hilarious. Like I wanted to get that framed if I could find the photo. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was at the actors sessions that we were doing, the chemistry reads.
Oh, okay, wow.
We got the mask and he put it on. I got a photo of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that MC has a biology degree.
Yeah, right. She's very she's very talented. She's multi-talented. She's funny. Yeah, she goes there dramatically. She's funny. She's adventurous. I mean, her and her boyfriend go on they're every day they're somewhere in the world. I'm like so jealous. I'm like, take me with you. Yeah, throw me in your suitcase. She's definitely an interesting person for sure. Very cool.
Okay, so I did write some trivia questions that I'll kind of throw in. Here's the first one for you. Where was a license plate from on the Cadillac, and what was the license plate number?
Oh, I know where it was from, but I don't know what number it was.
I think we placed it in post. I believe.
We did?
So that was a number. Or did you?
Because we made
New Mexico.
First of all, you said New Mexico. We're like, well, because I don't know why I fixate on things like it could have been anywhere that had like that kind of terrain, but I was like, Tom, I need to know where this is. Like, you got to tell me right now, like where, like me and my weird authenticity thing kicked in, and Tom's like, New Mexico. And I'm like, okay. And so, there I am, online finding New Mexico license plates and putting this stuff into Photoshop and blah, 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 and sending it to my props master, Peter. And then I think Peter chose the number.
Did you do it on the other car too? On all the cars?
Peter's thorough. He would have,
because honestly, I've done so many license plate replacements, like myself or my first movie I had. So I might be mixing it up with another movie.
I think every car had New Mexico on it. I think so.
I feel like this.
I apologize, Rick. I didn't mean to like.
No. I don't ever follow up on Peter. He's just too good. I'm like, I don't need to check on Peter.
I'm so used. I just edited a short film on a guy, and he was asking me to change the license plate number. I feel like I have to replace it in post so many times. I didn't know we had it in camera. That's amazing.
I think that one of the reasons I chose New Mexico is I researched which states didn't have to have front license plates, and I think that's one of the reasons why I chose New Mexico, because we didn't have to match the front.
Yeah, and I think we didn't want it to be in Cal. We wanted to feel like it could be in California.
Not in California, and also the fact that you have to have a front license plate in California.
You're putting my detail compulsiveness to shame there, Tom. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's there's thought that goes behind everything.
Actually, the license plate number was my birthday plus.
Yeah, I have no idea. What was the license plate number?
7H8362.
God. Somebody come up with a conspiracy reason.
Well, I personally, from what I know, remembering that might not have been this movie, but I talked to somebody that did do the replacement. I think you have to like make sure that it's not a real license plate. Yeah. So even if you wanted to be clever, someone could have that. So he might have just scanned one that's not used to print out. Like it might not really mean anything.
Peter is a very thorough properties master. That's all I could say. Yeah, I never have to follow up on him because I never have anything to worry about. And
Lee, of all the things to ask.
Yeah, knowing Peter, it actually does have a meaning. So now I have to find out, Lee. Thank you.
But now that you're bringing up these little things that you're questioning, I wonder if you're going to see all the Easter eggs that I put in
ones. Yeah,
that I don't think anybody was going to catch.
We'll see. Well, okay. What kind of seltzers were in the back of the Cadillac?
What kind of what?
Seltzers. There was a brand.
You know that one, Tom.
Oh, shit. I mean, I product placed.
What?
I product placed them, so they're on my list somewhere.
I know. How do you're the one that got it done.
Corona seltzers?
Correct.
Yeah.
But then they were having Corona beer at the campsite, not the seltzers, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, they were all product placed. They're all legal.
Modelo, right?
Modelo was also in there.
Modelo was later.
Yeah.
I like that Ray and Jesse grabbed a pine cone and a corkscrew to defend themselves. Okay, so I wrote this quote down. See if Tom remembers what he said to the girls about the smell.
You all smell like a potpourri of floral farts at a farmer's market.
Which is another shirt I want made. That's another line on a shirt that would be great.
Okay, if you make these shirts, send me one.
Yeah.
Oh, a little trivia for you. The shirt that Mr. Rogers wears at the end, although three of us came up with the concept, Robyn drew it. So that shirt, the big yellow shirt.
The more s'mores or taste s'mores.
Yeah. Give me some s'mores.
I'll take some more. Our polymath director is also a graphic designer.
A very talented artist who made the poster behind me.
I do like the poster a lot.
Yeah, Robyn did that. That was just supposed to be temporary.
Okay, what did Jess say her deodorant was?
Honeysuckle Rose. I put on honeysuckle. No,
that wasn't Rose. It was
honeysuckle.
I was honeysuckle deodorant, Ray. Honey fucking suckle.
Yeah.
That's another great line.
It was. Okay, what was the name of the snake?
Oh, Peppercorn.
I know that one. I'm not going to get away.
Yeah, which actually his name was Pepper something else.
No, his name was Peppercorn. The snake's name was actually Peppercorn.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
we changed it to Pepper. We changed it to it's Pepper something, but we changed it to Peppercorn in the movie.
Wait a minute.
It was like Peppermint, I think.
Yeah, it was Peppermint, and we changed
the actual
we changed the name to protect the identity of the snake.
I think so. I think it was something silly, but we
something.
I always thought the snake's name actually was Peppercorn, and that's why
I think it was Peppermint. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think I had anything to do with. I think they just called it Peppercorn, and then I found out later on. I thought they were using their real name, and then I found out from Peter or Rachel or something that it was Peppermint, and I was like, why? I was like, why did we change it? It could have done that too. That'd been fine. Peppercorn's funnier.
For your viewers, Lee. Peter,
trivia for you: the snake was at the property where we were shooting, so we just incorporated it. They said it was cool.
Snake was a pet, and we very gently incorporated the snake. His owner and handler was there. No animals. Animals are not interfered with. We don't like that. We are very
people.
We didn't wake up Peppercorn.
Nope.
And just for your viewers' sake, Peter Clark is the properties master on this, and Rachel Stamler Jonas is the set decorator on this, and
they're awesome.
They are truly the magic behind all the weird little fun loosey goosey bits you see floating around in corners of sets.
Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs.
Yes.
Well, I'm curious why there were bagel bites and ice cream along with the dry goods.
Because they were placed products. We did a lot of product placement just for fun. Some stuff we used on our craft service, but some stuff it was like, it's just weird, and I got permission for it, so why not put it there?
Like, you never know.
But I think the ice cream that was like, you go to a deli or a coffee shop and they have the sandwiches that are like old. They just look like old fake sandwiches because they make them.
Yeah.
The ice cream's just there to tell you they got it in the back, not to like it's
Right,
there.
exactly. It's just it was a display.
Yeah,
It was how do
You
we
gotta tell yourself.
the question was how do we populate the world of HXB, the infamous hot cross buns? Like, what do we do? Because hot cross buns got some side hustles. Hot cross runs the campground. Hot cross gives karaoke lessons. He is a regional champion. And
He makes bedazzled buttons.
He bedazzles, but he makes buttons. He makes a lot of buttons. And Hot Cross, it's like got to make some extra cash to keep the lights on. So he has his little concession stand inside, and because he
cares about his community. He cares.
He cares.
About the mortuary, the father and son mortuary team that's in the town there. The guy that weaves baskets, Basket Robbins. There's a lot of really, he's a family community man.
That and the fact that Tom product placed a lot, and we had to do something with it to get it on camera. So we figured like all like major hotel chains have little snack areas where you can buy stuff. So why wouldn't HX be?
Like anytime you go camping, when you go to the lobby or wherever you check in, they always have something.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn it, honey, I forgot the instant potatoes. Well, don't worry, they got
the au gratin. Yeah.
Rick almost put a one of those bacon wrap hot dog stands outside of the Dodger Stadium he had outside of the cabin. He almost did that.
Okay, was the campfire, was that battery powered?
Yes, it was.
I was watching, I was like, I looked at it again, I was like, what? Yeah.
Wait, you mean as opposed AC versus DC or?
Well, I was like, there's nowhere to plug this in. It has to be battery powered, but I didn't think about it the first time I watched the film. And I didn't think about the first.
We had generators and we had powers.
Okay.
But I do believe that was a battery powered LED string of lights. Well, several of these string of lights, my people, put together for that.
And we had to protect it every night. We had to cover it every night with huge tarps and I don't know. I take your word on it.
I think they were battery powered. I think they were. Yeah.
Tom, did you choose the Crocodile Dundee hat to wear?
So I bought that when I was in Australia. Prior to writing the film, and I had been wearing it as a dog shelter volunteer all the time, and it was like beat up. And use what you got. So yeah, I was wearing it for these dog videos, and it was all dusty and beat up. And so I actually bought a brand new one for the shoot, because when the character has it new, again, I don't know what I'm supposed to give away, but there's two hats in it. One's the beat up one and one's a brand new one. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to give too much away either.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a huge plot point, because he has magical powers that turns the old hat into a new hat. Did I give away? Did I just give it away? Gave it away.
Gee, yeah.
Okay, Tom, what book were you reading?
It's a book that I actually wrote. It's called Sympathy for the Devil.
Okay, I didn't know you wrote that.
I actually wrote it, and that's why he says, leave me alone to read my damn book. I just want to read my damn book. It is my damn book. Yep, Sympathy for the Devil is my first novel that I wrote.
Oh, cool.
Which worked out like so perfectly with the character that you're dealing with in that scene, and it's so good.
Yeah, it was a perfect title. There's actually three of my books or two or three of my books in the movie. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Easter eggs.
Okay, what did Eddie call Ed?
I know. Big fat Sasquatch.
Old fat Sasquatch.
She also calls him Creepo. Okay, Creepo. I think
you run fast for a big fat Sasquatch.
Big fat Sasquatch. Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed on the counter at the lodge, the karaoke flyer. Do you know what it said on there? Like when karaoke was, the date, the time.
No.
Drake, you did that one, didn't you? Or did Peter do it?
Peter, I think, right?
Peter and I sat at a Starbucks one afternoon and cranked out everything on that bulletin board. We were a little buzzed on coffee, and we were just coming up with stuff right and left, and I don't remember.
I know it was karaoke lessons, wasn't it?
Yeah, he HXB does karaoke lessons, but there was also a bunch of other stuff on that board that was like your face was on it, and Tom, your face was on it, and my face was on it, and Peter's face was on it, and Rachel the decorator's face was on it, and we.
Well, are you specifically talking about HXB's flyer?
There was one on the counter, not on the bulletin board, but one on the counter.
There's the counter one.
That was counter
hero. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh no, I fail.
I ordered the karaoke trophies, so they were all engraved, and I don't think I could remember. But I didn't have the time to look at that detail. Like, I know when we were taking apart the set, we were not to touch the bulletin board, which we did by mistake, and then we had to rebuild it somewhat. But
yeah, because the bulletin board saved our hides because we had to shoot in a different location on the inside than the outside, and the inside one, I believe that we had a window on the door. So it ended up like kind of working out perfectly where we kind of masked it. And most people, they think it's the same building as
you would never know.
Well,
Yeah.
I did notice that the outside of the building said one name on the end, and then the inside for this karaoke flyer said something else.
Oh, well, that's definitely Rick's fault.
No, the karaoke. Oh, wait. The karaoke contest was at the barn.
Mm-hmm.
So it says karaoke is Friday the 13th at Houndstooth Lodge, 7 to 10, featuring the Tri-State champion HXB.
Oh, that was the barn.
I like how they threw the Friday the 13th in there. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I got to look for the next
Friday
one.
the 13th occurred in a few places. There was some stuff that you didn't even see, Lee, like when they're eating the French fries in the back of the car on the way out. We had it was Fry Day the 13th burgers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
right? Like we had a lot of stuff that didn't quite make. Again, this was that caffeine, that rocket fueled session at Starbucks one afternoon when Peter and I were just coming up with all sorts of weird plays and puns, and he's like, "Should we run this by Tom?" I'm like, no, just do it. You know, because it's golden. Just do it. You know,
that's so cool because as the director working with the cinematographer, like I'm working on these like certain shots that are like these love letters to the movies, but I love that, you know, and I did some stuff in post, but I love that you guys, I feel like you might have showed me and I just said yes, and I just forgot about it, but you're doing your own little Easter. It's so cool that everyone's doing their own little Easter eggs. Even Tom, you know, he's telling he's telling now on the podcast about the knife thing. You never told me about it. Yeah. What is it? I need to know what it is. We're hiding.
You gotta have a real knife, you gotta have a rubber knife, and you gotta have like
there's different knives. People get killed with knives.
This movie has so many secrets, and even the cast and the crew that's made it still have secrets. It's a never ending yarn that's being.
If you track the different knives are used to kill different people for different reasons. So I mean, there's a lot of smart subtleties in this movie. Well, even though it's a slasher movie, it's a lot more than that, in my opinion. It's a movie that people have seen twice in theaters, back to back, when we got an encore, and said they would see it a third time. So I think we're all very happy with it.
It is definitely a popcorn and snow caps movie. And I mean, like, you're putting the snow caps in the popcorn and shaking it up to watch this movie. That's the kind of movie this is.
It felt like a very classic slasher or classic horror film.
Yeah, it's got a lot of that.
Okay, back to your posters, though. You had A.A. Ron poster on the door. You had Dead Yet.
That was our sound guy. Our sound guy was Aaron.
Yep.
You had Dead Yet, Finn Mortuary and Crematory.
That's my favorite one. That's Liam and his son. That one cracks Liam every time I see that. Like that one cracks. That with the combo with Aaron, I laugh, and then when I see HXB doing the pose, I love that shot.
Okay, do you know what vodka that Mr. Rogers and Hooded Ron play? What were they drinking?
I do remember this. It was like something like it was like something American or something like super like America vodka or something, wasn't it? Because that shot specifically was supposed to play into another joke that we ended up cutting, or scene that we cut out of the film.
There was
specifically
layered. The screwdriver was layered into a joke that we had to cut out, or a bit we had to cut out. I don't remember the name of the vodka. That was shot at our executive producers in one of their rooms.
But that was did you do that? Did you print that, Rick, or was Peter do
That
that was a fake. That was a fakie.
that would be you ready for this one, Lee? That would be from a graphic house here in LA that everybody uses because they have these product labels like neck bands, like you name it. They've got everything for any kind of bottle. They have fake milk cartons that you can use. And it's cleared graphics, meaning the company whose name is on it just does not exist. It's completely fake. And
you see a lot of those, the beer, right? Like
the beer too. Yeah,
those,
I have a pile of those things.
In a ton of movies, that's that place, I think.
Yeah, I sort of, acquired some from a properties master many years ago. That he had a pile of extras, and these things are expensive. It can be like $10 a label. Wow. Because they need to be on vinyl because bottles sweat, or you want to put it in ice or something like that. So honestly, I just remember saying when Peter was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to design some labels here." And I'm like, "No, you don't," because I happen to have a pile of labels that are cleared and good to go, and I don't remember what the name of that vodka is.
I was targeting a couple vodka companies, but we couldn't get clearance on any hard alcohol for some reason. I don't know why that was. They
don't want to be associated with murder.
I mean, I could probably get you one.
Nice.
But it was Shurich's vodka. I don't know. I looked it up too because I was very curious. I was like, I haven't heard of this. But
yeah, it's from one of our graphics houses here in LA that they have graphics designers just full time. They create newspapers, fake cereal boxes, like you name it, they have it. I can populate an entire kitchen out of these places. And not only can I populate the kitchen, I mean, they actually have the actual box for cereal. You can fold the box together and make it. Or if you've got a cereal box or a milk carton, they have like a sleeve that fits over all of it. These places are genius. And they charge a fortune, and I'm sure that they are millionaires for coming up with this idea.
Okay, I have to point out the full extent of Mr. Rogers' outfit at the from the Lost and Found. Okay, you mentioned the shirt, but you have the leggings that are like Hawaiian print, and then you've got like these.
I love prop shopping, and I love getting in everything. So I remember going through Goodwills, and I found those, and I texted Rick pictures. I think like, what about these? And he was like,
and it was an unequivocal yes.
Like, yes, get them.
Get them now.
Get them.
When you're done, give them to me. I will wear them to a ceremony. They are.
We also I think we talked about this, but we were thinking also like, especially in this movie, and I feel like it could be done quite a bit. Is these are like Halloween costumes? Like if somebody likes this movie, that they could dress up. That is a great Halloween costume. Be Mr. Rogers in that outfit.
The neon green robe was from a Burning Man that I went to. The t-shirt we thought about, we designed, we bought, although it was supposed to be huge on me, and I'm huge, so it didn't look as huge as we wanted it, but I think we got like a 5X.
It was kind of down to your knees, which was sort of the effect I think we were going for. I mean, look, you're a big dude. You're like what, 6'3", 6? How tall are you?
5, yeah, 6'5".
Yeah, see, I mean, it's like it's hard to make something look like a tent on a dude that big, But I think that the effect was there, especially with those pants.
Yep.
That's what I thought was funny. Is like certain things fit and other things didn't mix together. Was really funny.
And then the gear up later that he has, actually, the people that walk dogs with me as volunteers, apparently when they saw it in the movie theater, they literally audible said "dog walker" because a lot of that stuff I would wear when I walk dogs. So,
and can I just like give a quick applause to Tom, because not every actor is secure about themselves enough and the character they're playing enough that they will go along with being made to look that ridiculous for a part. Like it's strange. Egos can come into play and vanity comes into play, and Tom's like, it's great for the character, like he's just, let's do it, and so it was done, and there was zero remorse. Him trying to fit into those ridiculous pants. How many takes was that, Tom? You didn't flinch.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, I write for story. The funniest thing to me about that, what you're saying is, I had to run across the forest a couple times And I did it twice, and each time I got more splinters in the bottom of my feet. And when I was all done, someone said, "You should have wore moleskin on the bottom of your feet." I was like, what? And they're like, "Yeah, it's just like this pad you can glue to the bottom of your feet. Nobody sees it." I had no idea, and it came out afterwards. My feet were sore for days, just because
I didn't know that.
Running across the wood chips over. I think I did 2 or 3 times, but yeah, and it was freezing out. But
You're talking about the scene where you're barefoot, though, right?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like through your boots and that when you're wearing an outfit. Yeah. I was like, oh man.
No. When I ran barefoot on the wood chips,
got you. Yeah,
got all kinds of splinters in the bottom of my feet, but. Yeah, someone was like, "You should have worn moleskin." It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So moleskin, Hershey's Kisses for Blood in black and white. I'm learning today.
You're learning a lot of things.
Well, Hershey's is what they used in Psycho.
Black and white.
Yeah, I did not know that. Did not know that.
It's the viscosity is perfect.
It looks perfect. It looks like blood. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of blood, how sticky was the steering wheel from the blood?
The steering wheel?
I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but someone...
with MC. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, I didn't want to give that away. I didn't want to say who, but yeah, the steering wheel gets...
I didn't say the character.
It gets a little bloody.
God, I don't...
Which, it depends on which blood was... I don't remember which blood was being used, because there
it wasn't
different formulas.
It From what I remember, I kind of feel like we might have turned them. They might have been clear. We turned them inside out, so it was like on our hands and not on the outside. I can't remember.
Okay.
We kept cleaning after every take because we didn't want to get the car. It was
we shot out a sequence a lot, so we had to keep blood. We were always worried about continuity of blood. Like we had 2 masks, and we shot out a sequence, so sometimes things were bloody. We had to unbloody them and then re-bloody them. But I don't.
And running out of blood because we're on top of a mountain, 7,000 feet up. Like it's not like we can run to the local, Hollywood supplier.
And not only that, all those car shots were a challenge because it could only be the actor who's driving, or if there was other, in the big scene where they're coming in, you have the camera guy, I have to be in there, and the sound guy. And crammed, and we're driving distances, so it's like it became kind of difficult. It's like you had to keep turn around, especially the day shot. It's like we're going this certain direction. Oh, we could just turn around and shoot it again the other direction. Oh, we can't because the sun's in a different spot, so we have to drive all the way back. Or what we actually did was we would get the whole take in one direction, and then we turn around, get the whole take again, just in case that take was better. Then we'll just say the sun was on that side. But we can never do it again. It was only the certain ways could match. So yeah, and I would be actually in the back because he had all that camping gear and all the product placements. So there's actually a photo I put on my social media that and it's me in the very, very back, cramped up, like with a little monitor, and I'm like shouting out in the back as they're driving, like say this, it was crazy but fun.
Okay, can honey really keep wounds from getting infected?
Apparently they can. I did research on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody laughs at that and they don't know. Just Google it. It's true.
Yeah.
It is honey is witchcraft. Yeah. I mean, I want to say it was known about in ancient Egypt, like some of the properties for using it for wounds and stuff like that. Because I remember thinking the same thing. I'm like, I know I've read about this, and I dug around further, Tom, when I read that in the script, and I was like, oh yeah. It's amazing stuff.
That's also one of my favorite lines in the movie too. That's my honey. That's my honey.
That's my honey. We proudly made our own.
I did write 4 quotes down from towards the end of the film. School's out, bitch. Not today, bitch. Fuck yeah, boomer. And you really are the sunshine from an angel's ass.
Yeah, great lines. Fuck yeah, boomer is the #1 t-shirt I want to get made. I actually was trying to get a t-shirt made for our thing on Friday. I was trying to get t-shirts for everybody that said "fuck yeah, boomer" on it. But
I just realized something. There was a discussion where someone wanted to call me a boomer early on, and I was strongly against adding it a second time. And I'm so glad that I didn't. I was like, you can call me whatever you want, just don't use that word because we're using it later. And I'm so glad that we didn't use it earlier.
Well, we were talking about, I think it was at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite. So the same character says it in like disdain, like you're a boomer.
Right. But I'm
And
so
then
glad
at the
we
end,
did.
the character is like, hell, like, I'm glad you're, so that was kind of like the circle. But yeah, I mean, I think it could have worked too, but either way, that's line with or without having that is just, it's perfect in that moment. So
yeah.
I will say this: you're not a boomer, you're an Xer. 80s represents. Come on, we're Xers.
We're
not boomers.
Anybody younger, they were a boomer.
Well, I think isn't that the thing now? It's like even millennials are called boomers now. I think Gen Z just calls everybody boomers.
It's everybody boomer. Yeah.
I mean, Gen Z is not very bright.
I didn't say it on this podcast.
He was lie drunk, everybody.
Don't
cancel him.
I Uber college students every weekend, and they are not bright. You should probably put "You really are the sunshine from an angel's ass" on a T-shirt too.
Yeah, that was written.
Yeah, there's some great merch ideas. Beware raccoon, beware the or what was the line you said? Stay away from the raccoons; they'll bite you in the ass. I hope
the raccoon bites you in the ass.
Yeah, and stay away from the raccoons. Or look out for the raccoons. I hope one bites you in the ass. Like
just
your breath.
Raccoons.
Yeah, just that. It's great.
Yeah,
Was anything ad-libbed?
Yeah. A couple things were ad-libbed. HXB, that was ad-libbed.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There was a scene outside HXB's that was mostly the radio where they're going in different directions. That was mostly ad-libbed. I think there was some was written, some was ad-libbed.
Yeah, I think we let them because we knew exactly what had to have happened, but I think we were letting them have a little bit more of a say on what they would say because they're younger, and it's like, what would you do if you didn't have how would you act? Like, so I think there was a little more improv there because it was felt like real reactions if they were in that situation, if they didn't have their get on social media,
My least favorite line in the movie was ad-libbed, but we couldn't. I wanted to cut around it, but there was nothing to cut with. So
wait, what line was that?
It was a tampon line.
Oh,
yeah.
Just because I'm a white dude, 55 years old, and there was a whole lot of other reasons why she could have done what she did without using that line, which would have been incorporated from things earlier on that I would have chose. But, I wasn't there. I was busy producing something else somewhere, elsewhere in the woods doing other things. And it works, but it just is one of those things I wish that wasn't there because my name's on as a writer. And I think there's so many other things that could have been said, but it works.
Okay, I hope this isn't spoiling anything.
Well, you could say that I wrote it.
There you go.
In every interview, say it's Robyn's fault.
Is there going to be a sequel of Mr. Rogers' Side of Horror?
So this was written. I wrote an idea of the script after Liam told me the parameters, and as I was building it, I was like, it's way over budget already, and so. In this period of time, I then decided to write a prequel to that script that would be smaller with a smaller cast and less locations and all sorts of stuff. So really, there is already a sequel to it as it exists now. However, the script changed many times with different people's ideas and then editing and all that stuff. So it doesn't quite match up with what it was. But yeah, there's an idea of there may be a sequel if there's demand, if people really love it. And then the other thing is I also want to see what the audience gravitates to what earned a sequel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to force a sequel on somebody that it's a storyline that maybe the audience didn't follow. And I'm willing to okay, well, I didn't see that before, but now everyone's like, hey, what happened to so-and-so? And I also don't see any reason why you can't take it in two different directions because I think that would be fun. Like that's I hate sequels that are exactly like the movie beforehand. I don't see a point to it. I'm a story guy. If you can't advance the story, if you're just regurgitating the story, it bores the shit out of me. I'd rather not do it. I'd rather do something else.
I mean, as we all know, there's so many unanswered questions from Fast and the Furious 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 7 and I don't know 28. What are we up to now? There's
10.
so many unanswered questions.
Well, there's 10. The first part of 10.
I do have I maybe one day if it's ever possible I'll get Tom's blessing, but I do have like a funny or fun idea for like well you can call it even a fan, you know, like you ever see the Punisher little short film they did way with Thomas Jane still in it, and they never made a sequel, but it was just kind of a one-off thing. It was just like its own little short film, but he returned as the Punisher. I have this like little fun idea that had been so fun, but I want to run it by Tom first, but it'd be maybe just like a little short, a fun kind of over the top thing with one of the characters. I just thought would be kind of even just for fun, you know.
I mean, the truth is it has to be successful in order to warrant a sequel. So the main thing is people watching it, wanting to watch it again, it generates money, and then you know the investors want to do it again, or other people want to jump in and do it. So, but it has to be successful in order to have a sequel. Otherwise, move on to the next thing.
KillHer some more.
KillHer some more. KillHer 2. Yeah.
KillHer again. KillHer one more. KillHer baby one more time.
Strangle her. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ideas. So no shortage of ideas, just implementing them and making it happen. So producing is a lot of work. You know.
Could this be my title, Slice Girls?
I remember that,
yeah. They had a competition for like the title of the film. Like, anybody got an idea for that? I was like, Slice Girls.
This makes me think of like the Spice Girls drinking. Remember the Slice orange soda drink, like a commercial from the '80s, going Slice Girls, and they're eating this slice.
Okay. Any more fun behind the scenes stories?
We could go on all night. We literally could go on all night.
I guess your favorite one.
I'll say the one I said recently. I just remembered because I totally forgot about it. Was there was I feel like it was one of the nights was going really well. Everything was on time. Things were going great. And all the main leads were in the makeup room, and they were like, I remember I was going from one set to another, and I walked by, and there's this window there next to the cabin. And I think we were shooting like some spooky stuff. It was kind of like some of the scarier, not like in your face, but like kind of creepy, like things in the woods. And there was stories from the crew saying they saw things. But I remember like I'm walking by to go to the cabin where I was staying at to grab something to come back to set. And I see the window, and they're kind of huddled together, and they're not looking. They're all just looking at each other in this huddle. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to scare the shit out of them. So I come to the window like really slowly. And I think I had a flashlight, and I just go bang, and I have the flash on my face, and they screamed so loud. I got them so good. And then they just ran out of the cab like, Robyn, don't you? Like they were so upset. But they were laughing, but it was funny. It was like I got them pretty good. So
Lee, I got a story that I haven't shared much. I don't know if I've shared it in any interviews. And it's we're making this movie, and we're all working our ass off, and I'm exhausted. And I go into a room, and there's a couple cast members, and they're hanging out with our young second, and they're like drawing or they're doing something, and I see this camaraderie, this bond between them, and I literally had this moment like it's all worth it. Like no matter what happens, like this idea that was created because I almost died literally, that has grown, and all these people have come together. Like there's a true friendship that's because of that, and I guarantee these people will know each other for the rest of their lives. And that was just like one of those moments where it's like, I don't care what happens from this point on with this movie. Like I want to be successful. I want it to be people to love it and enjoy it. But it's like, this was all worth it. Like the friendships that happened because of this movie, because of being up in this mountain together, because of the struggles that we're all having, and the camaraderie that we're all having, and helping each other out. Like that means probably more than all of it combined. Like it was really kind of this moment of holy cow.
And the cool thing about that too is that with horror films, it has such a the fan base is so loyal, and if you can make something that people enjoy, whether we make a sequel again, we have the opportunity to do that. And there's not a lot of movies with actors that bond in that way and have this shared experience that have much less of a chance to come back and do it again, even if it's a different movie, because people will say, "Oh, you were in that movie. I'd love to see you in a different horror." Like it's really kind of like horror film really is an amazing genre with an amazing fan base that really cultivates a way for people to continue to do that and work with each other, which is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You said you almost died?
Tom, Tom, give him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I buried the lead.
Because it's a fabulous story.
So I was told I had to have my hip replaced at some point when I wasn't working, wasn't busy. So we're in the middle of COVID, it's starting to get better. No one's doing anything. I decided to get my hip replaced. And during the surgery, I aspirated. And they called the woman I was living with at the time, my girlfriend at the time, said, "You have to get down here. You may not make it." I was supposed to be home that day, and I was in a induced coma for 24 hours or something like that. Had a tube put down my throat. They pulled the tube out, not knowing if I was going to bounce back or not. Spent 4 days in ICU. Surgeon said we didn't think you were going to make it. And I basically was laying there, barely able to speak, trying to build my lungs back up. And I was like, I have to make a movie, and I don't have to make a $20 movie or a $5,000 movie like I made with Rick, the Murderous Camouflage it was called. But I want to make a real movie. And I don't care what I have to do. I don't want to wait for people's permission anymore. I don't want producers to tell me that I have orphan words and I have too much white space, and this doesn't work because I want a pure genre thing or all the bullshit that Hollywood does. And there's a reason why there's so much crap in Hollywood is because the people running it aren't artists. They're not creatives. They're business people who don't know shit. Sorry about that, Hollywood, but it's true. And so I came out of it, and I called my friend Ben Rockup, who's a very well horror aficionado, great director. And I said, "Ben, if you were me and you pretended you didn't know anything, you never made a movie, you never acted or anything, what would you do to make a movie?" And he said, "I'd call my friend Liam Finn, who's a great line producer, who you've worked with twice before as an actor." And I talked to Liam Finn and I said, "I want to make a movie, and this is the amount of money I'm willing to invest in it myself." And so Liam read 2 of my scripts, said, "You can't afford to do either one of these because of these are the reasons, but write these parameters, small cast in the middle, outside, and in the horror genre." And I wrote the script within 2 weeks. Like I said, I started writing a script and decided this was too expensive, so I wrote the prequel already, gave it to him in 2 weeks. He read it and was like, "Yeah, we can do this." And that's how it went forward. But it really came out of like, I'm gonna die, and if I'm 80 and I'm sitting there, like I kept waiting for permission and someone else's approval, then I lost. So I'm just going to do it. And we did it. And I was moving forward. It was going to happen. And then that's when the phone call from Ron came saying met these producers, Ned and Len, who wanted to invest in the movie. And he knew this guy, Robyn, who was a great director. And I told Ron like 3 times, "No, I don't want you to read the script. No, I don't want them to read the script. I'm sure they're all lovely people. I have to make this movie. I don't want anyone's permission." And then Ron finally convinced me to let him read the script. He finally got me to convince me to let us do a table read, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want someone to tell me how I couldn't do it. I just wanted to do it. And it wasn't until I went to Atlanta to go look at locations in Atlanta to see if that was cheaper that the executive producers gave me a call and said, "We want to buy your movie. We made the decision." And once that happened, Robyn said in an earlier interview that he wasn't sure that he had the job or not. But honestly, Robyn had the job from the moment that Ron put the package together. If I was going to go with Ned and Lan, Robyn was going to be part of that, and Ron was going to be part of that. And that's how it came together. It just came together because it was like, life's too short. I watched Being John Malkovich on the movie screen when it first came out, and I made an audible thank God. And I'm not a God person, but it was because I was watching something that was different and creative and interesting. and not the same thing over and over, which kills me inside as an artist. And so I was like, it's my time, man. It's my time to make a movie, whether I burn or whether it crashes or burns. And I think we made a really great film. I think Robyn made a great film. I think we all made a great film. I think everybody contributed. It's literally all of our movies, from if you worked a day or a minute on the movie to whether you worked on it from this moment to the very first idea with me and Liam's conversation. It's all of our movie. And I think that permeates the entire film. And I think that's why it's not only a good script and a good film and a fun ride, but there's literally an honest feeling inside of it. I think that just, you can't fake that. And I think it's amazing. So I'm sorry that was so long, but
no, that's some good stuff, man. I will say this: I didn't know much about the near-death experience till recently, but everything you said is besides, that's a whole nother element. But my first film before this was based off what you said of just the gatekeepers. Like, you can't, like, there's a great speech. If anybody's a filmmaker and wants to go see it, it's on YouTube, South by Southwest, Marketplace. It's called "The Cavalry's Not Coming," and right. And it's so cool that, like, that inspired me to make the movie. And then I got this opportunity, and it was based off the movie that you were inspired to, with that same feeling, but added on to the idea of that, like, he's right. Like, every single one of us is going to die. If you haven't made that movie yet, it's probably your fault, because you might not be making sacrifices and saying, okay, this $1 million movie that you want to make, maybe you could make it for 150. You could probably do that. What are you waiting for? Oh, I have to make my Citizen Kane. Just make a movie. Just do the thing that you want to do, and you'll lead to other films. And I think this is going to lead a lot more work for Tom and Rick and all of us. And it's so cool that it came out of that almost desperation, of like, or just also not even just desperation, but seeing that, like, what is stopping me? It's actually me. It's
right.
not.
It's a moment of clarity.
It's not all these other people.
It's why I stopped doing unscripted. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? This is zero for me. Why am I just keeping the lights on? I can go be an associate professor. I can go work at Trader Joe's. I can do a million other things to keep the lights on. So why the fuck am I still here?
Yeah. It's the same thing you said earlier, Rick, about just you're like, I know it's going to hurt, but I got to do this thing that I want to do. And it's, some people just don't have the guts to do that. And so,
you know what though? It hasn't hurt. The minute you actually, I don't know Tom, I think this happened for you. Rob, it's probably happened for you. I know it happened for me. Lee, I can't speak for you. I hope it has, or it's about to. But the minute you are like, that's it. Like, when you have that moment of clarity, something in the great ether clicks. And, I mean, careful what you wish for to a degree, but it clicked. It clicked. Tom called first. And then, I was bounced to Hawaii for another feature. And then I came back. I did a pilot for ABC. And then it's like it just kept growing. It does. When you finally have the real moment of clarity, it makes it easy too. I don't think it makes it scary when you really, really, really do know yourself, and you really do know that thing has happened, that it just, like, the clouds part and you're like, there it is. That's the moment.
And the best feeling too is that when you finally do it and you look back and you go, I almost didn't do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That feeling of I made the right decision. Like, we made something. We made a movie. Yeah. I can't believe that I've made it. It was never in my mind. I've always wanted to make a feature film. Never in my mind did I think I'd be here right now at directed 2 feature films.
Right.
And I don't want to keep going, but I mean, you can get so caught up in not listening to that inner, and with Tom's situation, I mean, that's if you aren't making the decision after almost dying, that's really on you. So I commend Tom for, because a lot of people wouldn't do that. They would maybe just give up. They go, no, I'll just go back to my regular life. And it's pretty cool that at least with our team, it seems like we all are in those situations, that he took the chance of saying, yeah, I'll bring on more people and do this thing that, could have disappointed, we get disappointed all the time. You have these hopes and all this stuff, and it all ends. But this happened. We did it. It's pretty cool. And it's coming out this Friday.
20th.
Okay, one last question, because you kind of got overlooked. Drinking rules for the game or for the movie.
Oh, yes, boy. I have some.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
whoever is welcome to go first.
Okay. I'm gonna say you drink every time you laugh as the audience. If you laugh or chuckle, you have to drink.
Oh, that's going to be murder.
Oh yeah, I want to get these people wasted.
Wasted in no time.
Heard.
Every time you hear the word raccoon, you have to drink.
I like that one.
every time the character Jessie, who's played by Emily Hall, says she wants to leave, you have to drink. And then finally, for me, every time you see a little cigarette burn in the upper right corner, you have to drink. Those are mine.
I would have said every time you see a product placement, you have to drink.
That's a good one.
Drink the product you see.
What's that?
Drink the product that you see.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Like a Rocky Horror Picture Show sort
You
of.
have to get in your car and drive and get it and come back and drink it. Pause.
Damn it. Gosh, what would be? Man, I would love to, like, every time you see an Easter egg, you drink, but a lot of times you would not know what an Easter egg until you really know the movie. But that'd be kind of fun, though. Like, if 4 people drink while you're watching a movie and one person doesn't, then I have to figure out why 4 people just drank.
Yeah, it actually would be. You'd have somebody that's feeling real stupid. Like,
That'd be
what am I
like-
missing?
Like the game, right? Exactly. It's like the game I Never. You know, like,
Yeah,
what am I missing? What are you guys seeing?
yeah.
Then you could always mess with people. You just have an agreement that you're all 4 going to drink at the same time constantly, just to mess with the one person's brain. I don't know. What else? Yeah, I don't know what else would be a good drinking game.
Every time a character appears with a new button from Hot Cross Buns.
Oh
you
yeah, that's a good one. Oh, I got a good one. Every time you see trees.
Oh yeah, right. every tree you see a drink.
Can you tell that I'm trying to get somebody like in the hospital?
Killing people, Robyn.
Hey, killer.
I like the raccoons thing. Every time you see a raccoon or there's a raccoon reference.
Yeah.
You drink.
Yeah, and towards the end,
Including the
you're going to
dead
be drinking a lot. You're going to be drinking a lot towards the end there.
A lot of Gosh, it's fun. I don't know. If anyone's watching this and they have a suggestion, I would love to hear it, actually. What would be a good drinking game for this movie?
I mean, you could say if you were a real, horror aficionado, real cinephile, as they say, you could say every time you see a shot that reminds you of a certain shot in a horror film that I did on purpose, you could drink. I mean, there's stuff that's pretty blatant.
Yeah.
I mean, you did mention the rules of horror.
Yeah, well, that was Tom. That was, which I believe was very inspired by Scream, right? Like that.
Yeah, it was the theme.
Yeah.
I just finished a third college degree, and I had to write a paper over the rules of horror. Well, that's what I chose to write, was the rules of horror.
You could say every time you see a knife, every time you see a mask, you could do those too.
Yeah, knife works. There's a lot of knives.
Every time you see Jagger's beautiful smile.
That's only like twice, isn't it?
He had a beautiful smile.
Is that why he was in Top Gun?
What a trooper. He is
Yeah.
a trooper. Such a
He's so nice. Like, what a delightful guy to work with.
Yeah, we got to get him on. He was on a podcast about Top Gun, and he shouted out the movie. We got to get him on a podcast.
Anytime.
He'd do
Yeah.
it. He's a Chicago boy. He'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like Chicago. Well, thank you so much for this. I really
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much.
Everyone watch
so
the
fun.
movie.
We're
I'm gonna
glad
get
you
a-
saw it. We're glad you liked it.
I'm gonna go
Thank you,
drink
Eddie.
a Bloody Mary, a flaming Girl Scout, and caramel whiskey all at once right now.
I'm so tempted to get a caramel whiskey bottle.
You
I'm
should do
going
it.
out right now to get something. So
Hey,
Yeah.
didn't you say that you wanted you said you wanted something like a was it a poster or a label or something?
Oh, I'm up for. Well, you mentioned the T-shirts. That would be cool. But hey, a
The
poster,
t-shirt, okay.
whatever.
If we make if I make a run of t-shirts and I send you one, you owe us a bottle of caramel whiskey.
oh boy, that'd be good.
That's like way more expensive than the t-shirt.
Exactly, but still.
I mean, I don't ever
I'll
pay
make
for
it out of
anything. They're open bottles, but I don't pay for them. So
Yeah,
Like
just send us a shot glass, of it. Wrapped in tinfoil in the mail. That'll work, right?
sure.
All right, I'm out of here. I got to go drink.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
thank you
another
so much.
blood
Awesome.
sand.
That was fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.